Hey, it's Tuxedo Mark. It's 1:33 p.m. on Tuesday, December 30th, 2025. And I want to show you the latest stuff that I got. It has been a while, and I'm sorry. Um, I've been running low on disk space, so um, I had to clear space so I would have enough room to actually live stream. Um, but anyway, let's see. I'm gonna try to go in chronological order of when I got these things. So first we got a movie called Bone Lake on DVD. Random movie that I saw at Walmart. A couple's romantic vacation at a secluded lakeside estate is upended when they are forced to share the mansion with a mysterious and attractive couple. In this darkly hilarious and seductive horror story, a dream getaway spirals into a nightmarish maze of sex, lies, and manipulation, bringing terrifying secrets to light and triggering a bloody battle for survival. So yeah, I looked it up. The heroine survives to the end. I made sure to, check that before I bought it. So that's that. Next, okay, something from Amazon that I ordered. Let's open it up if I can. Come on. Pardon me. All right. Okay. This was pretty cheap, and I read that there's a better DVD to get of this, um, but it's more expensive, and it's just the one movie. And I'm getting it out of curiosity because, okay, so the one that I'm getting that I got this for is a double feature DVD, but I got it for Test Tube Teens from the year 2000. I saw a trailer for it, and I was like, oh wow. Okay, so science was never this hard. Okay, so basically, sex is outlawed in the future. So, you know, two, it says here, two lust seeking pioneers from a cold, sexless future travel back through time to find the passions of the past. They find themselves at a boarding school full of beautiful co-eds. Okay, so this is from 1994. 77 minutes. Uh, I think it's in full screen. Um, 1.33 to 1 aspect ratio. I don't know. But I got this. I don't know if you can read it. For Michelle Matheson. That's her name on the right over there. She played Angela on Mr. Belvedere, and she was my favorite character on that show. So when I found out that she was in this movie, I decided to get it, and I streamed another one of her movies recently. It was called The Howling Six. So I watched that. It was pretty. It was cheesy and stuff, but I watched all of her scenes in it, and it was good. Um, so I'm looking forward to watching this. Other than her, and I heard of Morgan Fairchild, but I don't think I've ever really seen her in anything. Anyway, so this comes with a second movie on it. Rebecca's Secret stars no one I've ever heard of. I think the discs might be loose in here. I'm not sure. Anyway, in the lingerie business, you're always dressed to kill. So it seems like it's like an erotic thriller or something. 1998, 82 minutes. The only special features on either of these films are the original theatrical trailer. So here's the screen caps from the back. So one's a comedy, one's a drama. So I'll get around to watching these eventually. Let's check out the next thing. Okay. So I went to the mall in another town. I drove like over an hour away. Now I stopped at the mall after the reason I went there, which was to see Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair on the big screen. And it was the closest theater to me that showed it. It was well worth it. Okay, let me talk about Kill Bill for a bit. So I saw both films back in the day in the theater. And I rented the DVDs when they came out. I never actually owned Kill Bill on home media, but I watched a fan edit of the whole bloody affair a number of years ago, which basically combined. Well, it doesn't just combine both films into one. They were meant to be one film. Now, I don't remember exactly how that ed went. I know it had a longer anime sequence, but I don't remember the particulars of that because it was a fan edit. But in this one that I saw on the big screen that Tarantino actually supervised. Okay, so the reveal that the bride's daughter is still alive, the cliffhanger ending of the first one, that's gone. There's more. The crazy 88 fight scene is in color. There's a longer anime sequence that shows, Oren's origin. And there's an extra kill. Oren kills the guy. I forget his name. But after she kills the main guy, she randomly kills one of his flunkies. I heard that's either just it was part of the Japanese footage or it's brand new. I'm not sure which it is. I'm gonna have to look into that. But anyway, what else? The recap that the bride does at the beginning of volume 2, where she's driving of that rear projection type thing, and she's telling what's happened so far, that's gone. Also, the part where at the end of volume 1 where Bud is shown talking, that exists in a longer form in the movie itself, and I don't remember if it actually exists in volume 2 of the original release, but it exists in a longer form in the whole bloody affair. So obviously, volume 1 doesn't end with Bud talking or anything like that. But also, because they cut that, they also cut the scene on a plane where the bride is first writing out her hit list. So that's gone. The Klingon proverb that opened the film is gone. It was replaced with a dedication to a director that had died in 2003 when this movie originally came out. And I think that's it. Everything else, I think, is intact. I think there's some extra, like the bride does some extra maiming of Sophie before she drops her and rolls her down the hill to the hospital. Yeah. But yeah, I had a great time with that. There was an intermission. They played music for a while during the intermission, and then it was a silent screen. So once the screen went silent, I went to use the restroom. Um, but anyway, uh, apparently, a lot of people think that taking out the reveal that the daughter is still alive, they didn't like it, but other people love it because they forget about it until you finally see the daughter. So you learn that she's still alive along with the bride. So I can see the purpose of removing that. Apparently, that was probably made just when Tarantino was told he had to split the film into two. That's when the cliffhanger thing was created, and it wasn't part of his original vision. Now, apparently, according to the script, the part with the bride driving and telling, I'm going to kill Bill or whatever like that, that opens volume two. Originally, apparently, according to the script, that was originally in the script after the reveal of the wedding massacre when the police are doing their investigation. Apparently, it happens right after that. But when Tarantino was told that he had to split the film into two, he moved that part to serve as a recap at the beginning of volume two. And I guess when he created a whole bloody affair, he decided it wasn't needed, and he just took it out. But anyway, so the purpose of going to Ocala was that. But after that, I went to the mall to look around. That mall is surprisingly active. Obviously, it was a weekend, and it was like a mall back in its heyday. The food court was packed. There were teens walking all over the place. It was kind of surreal, actually, especially since my local crap mall closed like 3 years ago. And a mall further down south, which is, I guess, equal in size roughly to the one that I went to up north. Hey, Donal, thanks for joining me. That mall down south is pretty much dead. The one that I went to after seeing Kill Bill is in a college town. That might make the difference. And it was bustling. So malls can still do good in 2025. Just depends where you are and what kind of shopping that you offer and stuff like that. But anyway, I went to Aeropostale to get some more clothes, like specifically jeans, for my like Twilight Core outfits because I'm doing Twilight Core basically. And they had Bobo jeans. And the guy that helped me with the selection suit stuff seemed a little too eager to please. I'm like, okay, these are fine. I'd like to go try these out. But he's like, well, let me call. Do you have this? Do you have those customers? I'm like, dude, seriously, it's fine. These are fine. But anyway, so I got a pair of baggy stretch jeans, kind of a lighter blue color. And yeah, it says baggy stretch. I decided to go 34 by 30. Previously, I'd done 34 by 32, but those are a bit too long. Mostly, it's not a problem because they'll just rest on top of my shoes, except for boot cut jeans or no, boot cuts are actually fine, but like flare jeans, I have to roll them up because they'll just completely cover my shoes. So I decided this time to go 30 long instead of 32 long, and these work just fine. So these are baggy stretch. Aeropostale apparently does not carry boot cut. The guy said that baggy was like the closest thing to it, I guess. But these fit comfortably. So, and these are BOGO, so I saved a bunch of money on that. Now here's the other pair, and they also dropped in this 10% off any of our partner brands when you spend $25 or more from your friends at Aeropostale. Exclusions apply. Details are back. Spoiled alert. Ha. Okay. So you got Nautica, Lucky Brand, Brooks Brothers, Eddie Bauer, and J.C. Penney. Okay, J.C. Penney, sure. There's a J.C. Penney in the mall, but I don't shop in there. Um, they list a bunch of text here. Now, Lucky, I heard that Kristen Stewart wore Lucky Brand jeans in the Twilight film, and then she switched to, I forget which brand that she switched to, starting with the second film, because it's the brand that she prefers. But I looked up both brands a while ago. Those jeans are insanely expensive, like $100 plus, maybe 200. It's insane. So I'm not going brand accurate and trying to imitate Bella's style. And imitating Bella's style of anyone in the film franchise is easy because she's a tomboy. So anyway, so here's the second pair. This it's darker blue kind of, and this is super baggy non-stretch, but it fit just fine as well. And again, it's 34 by 30. So let me try. Geez, I'm spelling everything. But anyway, so yeah, and fits just fine, comfortable. So yeah. I wish they gave me a regular Aeropostale bag. I'm not sure what the SpongeBob deal is. Like, are they doing some kind of tie-in or something? Because this is a store that I guess is supposed to mainly cater to, teen fashions. Um, so why are they doing SpongeBob? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But just want to show those off. All right. Next thing. These, and it's in a Dollar Tree bag, but I got these at a thrift store. Um, so a few used CDs. First, we got a band called the Triplets with an album called Thicker Than Water. Um, I think they're rock or they're folk rock, maybe. I'm not sure, but this is from 1991. Or no, not folk rock. They're like half Mexican, I think. So they do like Spanish and they do English, but this is an English language album. Um, so yeah, I figured I'd check them out. Now this, we got Jewel Spirit, and I heard pieces of you on the radio, like in repetition during the summer of. I always thought it was 1996, the year that I graduated high school. I think it's 97 because when I started looking up all of the songs that were played on the radio that I remember from back then. Some of them were not out yet in '96, or at least not out in the summer of '96. So I think it might have been '97. I was working at the same factory that my dad was working at. I was doing this menial job of putting little pins and stuff into computer circuit boards. And I was, sitting on the assembly line, and they played the local crap pop station. And it was just all the same songs every single day. But I heard Pieces of You like every day. I figured I'd check out some of her other music. Um, so got a bunch of like 13 songs, and this album is from '98, Spirits. So yeah, fun fact: Jewel, if you've seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the musical episode once more with initially Sarah Michelle Gellar wasn't exactly looking forward to singing in that episode, so the plan was to dub her vocals with Jewel. But then Sarah eventually decided that she didn't want to be the only main cast member to not do their own singing. So she went ahead and did it. But yeah, it's funny. It's like you could have had like Going Through the Motions and Walk Through the Fire sung by Jewel in an alternate universe. Gloria Estefan and Miami Sound Machine cuts both ways. I think it's an accidental repurchase. I'm pretty sure that I bought it once before. So this is from 1989. I don't know any of these songs. I think about the only thing that I know from Gloria Estefan is Rhythm Is Gonna Get You. Oh, Get On Your Feet. Yeah. Okay, so that's from this album. Okay. Yeah. I had a greatest hits album once. I think I might have repurchased it a while ago. Um, yeah, I like Get On Your Feet. Um, anyway, I think this is another accidental repurchase. I wish I could have like an inventory of everything I owned I could carry around on my phone, um, and just look it up whenever I'm out. But anyway, so we got Jewel, Pieces of You, and it's got the song Pieces of You on it. Oh, here's the thing. I think I heard something about that. In fact, I'm going to look this up because I think there was a reissue of this album. And it has a '94 copyright on it, but I think there was a reissue with Pieces of You re-recorded or something. Eh, I'm gonna have to look up the details on that, but I think this is an excellent repurchase because I think I already got this. Whether this specific version of the album, I'm not sure, but yeah. So let me look that up. It says it's a '95 studio album by Jewel. Let me go to recording. Oh, the song is called "You Were Meant for Me," not "Pieces of You." Okay, so that's what I was hearing on the radio. All right, so this, okay, even before we get to recording, here's what it says. All right, after its release in February 1995, the album initially failed to chart 2 years later, in 1997, Bob Dylan invited Jewel to tour with him as his opening act, which gave the album widespread public exposure. The single Who Will Save Your Soul eventually received airplay, and the album peaked at number 4 on the US Billboard 200 almost exactly 2 years after its release. So, February 1997, basically. Other hits included were Foolish Games and You Were Meant for Me, as well as the UK single Morning Song. After 2 years, the album was re-released. Now, I don't know if this is after 2 years after its sudden popularity or after 2 years, after its initial release. But it says after 2 years, the album was re-released featuring the re-recorded versions of You Were Meant for Me and Foolish Games. Despite a mixed critical response, the album is listed at number 64 of the Definitive 200 by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Let's see. Pieces of You was certified 12 times platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America on January 30th, 2006, denoting shipments in excess of 12 million copies in the United States. As of June 2010, the album had sold over 7.3 million copies in the US, becoming one of the best-selling debut albums of all time. On September 28th, 2020, Jewel announced that the album would be re-released in celebration of the 25th anniversary of the album's release. It was released through Craft Recordings in multiple formats, including the original album remastered, alongside a 4-disc box set containing B-sides, demos, outtakes, live performances of the album songs. Ooh, that's interesting. I should probably get that. Now, the original album remastered, what does the original album mean? The 95 release or 97 release? And does the re-release album contain an updated copyright year, or does it still say 94 like my copy here does? Because apparently, hang on, You Were Meant for Me. Okay, here's my issue with when I had that job during the summer. You Were Meant for Me was released as a single on October 15th, 1996, which is weird. And Who Will Save Your Soul was released as a single on April 13th, 1996. But the album itself was initially released in February 1995. So did they seriously go over a year without releasing any singles from this album? That is weird. I mean, it's like, no wonder that the album initially failed to chart. It's like you didn't release any singles for it. Anyway, let me go. Okay. So, hang on, let me. Oh, Nick Reacts says release the Big Bang Theory reaction. Like, I'll watch that after I'm done with this live stream. But anyway, regarding the single, in 1997, a reissue of the single containing the unreleased Foolish Games allowed the song to rebound to number 7 on the Hot 100, eventually totaling 65 weeks in the top 100. The song was also re-recorded for Jewel's Greatest Hits album with backing vocals from the country trio Pistolanes. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, let's see, You Were Me Were Atlantic Records. Okay, this is weird. You Were Meant for Me was Jewel's second single to be taken from her debut album. Atlantic Records had Jewel re-record the song for a more radio-friendly version. Initially, the first version that was released was the Juan Patino radio mix with a music video produced by Sean Penn. This version omits the first 2 lines of the chorus and the last 4 lines of the second verse and did not gather much attention. It was later canceled with a video pulled from MTV and VH1. Jewel recorded the song for a third time, and the resulting version produced is known as the radio version and is featured on Greatest Hits. The original radio version, Juan Patino Radio Mix, only appeared as a promotional LP titled Phyllis Barnaby Finally Gets a Bra in 1996, and its only commercial release came on a Canadian Various Artists compilation entitled Now To that same year. Actual radio version was released on a commercial CD single and later on a re-release of Pieces of You. So, after reading all of that, I'm more confused than ever. It's like, what do I have on here? What's on this album? Which version of the 3 versions of the song is on this album? I'm going to have to look way more into this. Jeez. But anyway, moving on finally to more recent stuff. In Dollar General, I got this book, a novel, The Book of V by Anna Solomon. And so this is a story of like 3 different women in different time periods. One in 2016, one in I don't know, the 1970s, and one in ancient Persia. And one in ancient Persia is Esther, the character from the book of Esther in the Bible. And I think her story makes up only about 98 pages of this book. But Esther's my favorite book of the Bible, mostly because it's about a woman handling things on her own, and God isn't even mentioned in it. So the book itself is 300 pages minus all of the blank pages, but yeah, I figured I'd get it because I like the story of Esther, so I want to see what this author did with it. Now from Dollar Tree, first of all, I got a Kids calendar for 2026. usually I get a kitten like day planner, like a mini calendar, but because I no longer have a corporate job, I no longer have a need to write down a schedule, only for very infrequent things where I might have an appointment for something. So otherwise, I just figured let's decorate the kitchen with kittens. Kittens. Uh, anyway, I also found this book at Dollar Tree. Midnight Arcade, a play your way adventure. So this is like choose your own adventure, but it's like um it's some kind of gaming. It's like choose your own adventure, basically, I think. And it's two in one. It's like two different ones: Magician's Gambit and Wild Goose Chase. And this is by Gabe Soria. So, um, okay, $1.50, and a calendar was $2. All right. My Miss Kitty keeps chasing Tara all over the place. It's really annoying. I don't know what her beef with her is. Anyway, finally today I stopped at another thrift store after I went grocery shopping at Aldi. I found this in a display case. It's got tape around it, but still we got the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. These are the movie covers. So we got artwork on each side. I don't have physical copies of the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit. I have a digital version. I read the Hobbit. I'm in the middle of the Two Towers as far as the Lord of the Rings goes, and I've got a bunch of other Tolkien Middle Earth related books that I haven't read yet. I read one of them. I forget the name of it. It was one of his unpublished ones that Christopher finished up and published. But anyway, so these were originally priced at $6.99 each, so $27.96 total. I got this for $10. So that's neat. And that's it. That's everything. Just wanted to share that. And yeah, so I'm off to watch some YouTube videos and turn on my driving apps, get some deliveries done. But yeah, I hope you all have a happy new year. And yeah, now not much else is going on here. I'm still watching Pretty Little Liars. I tried watching Ravenswood. I'm not into it. um, but I'm still watching Pretty Little Liars. Um, looking forward to Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Now Stranger Things is over. I might eventually get around to watching it, but I still got to finish Cobra Kai as well. Oh, this morning I started watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer Triple X, a parody. Basically, it's a porn version of Buffy, but it actually follows the show. Uh, it's like it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes or something like that. It's like three episodes basically. Um, and yeah, it's Buffy with porn. um, So far, I'm not impressed with most of the acting. The girl that plays Buffy is the best actor of the bunch from what I've seen so far. Um, and I'm like a little over a half hour into it. It's funny. um, I'm kind of surprised that they were able to actually use the Buffy characters. Um, and you know they try to be funny, they try to be witty, they make references to stuff from the show. It's just that most of their deliveries are pretty bad. As I said, the girl who plays Lex, I think her name's Lexi something or other. She plays Buffy, and she's the best actor of the bunch for what I've seen so far. Um, but anyway, I'll continue watching that, and yeah. Anyway, so it's 2:14 p.m. and that's it. Thanks for watching.